Hey guys, what's up? It's Dunn with Core Therapy and Pilates. I'm the founder of Pilates for PTs. And one of the most common questions that I get is, what is a Pilates physical therapist? And so I just wanted to explain that real quick because I'm a manual therapist first. I worked as a manual therapist for 3 years before I even heard of what the word Pilates was. And I'm basically a manual therapist that uses manual therapy, and then after I use manual therapy, I teach Pilates. Mindfulness, breathing, using the Pilates equipment. But it doesn't take away from anything I've learned prior to my Pilates experience. So I combine the two. I use manual therapy. I'm trained in Maitland. So I do adjustments, I do mobilizations, I do all the nerve tension stuff. But I'm also studied with John Barnes, and I do a lot of myofascial release. And those are the two types of manual therapy that I use with my patients. And as a Pilates PT, I teach people on the Pilates equipment and I introduce them to the Pilates world. But the way my business is set up, being cash-based for PT, I move them over to work with my trainers as soon as they don't need me in the mix, or I start shortening my sessions to where I see them for 30 minutes of manual therapy and then move them right over to work with a Pilates trainer for an hour right after that. Or whereas at the beginning of the sessions or the first several sessions, I might see them the whole hour for 4, 5, 6 sessions. And in that hour, spend 30 or 40 minutes doing manual therapy and 20 or 30 minutes doing Pilates-based exercises initially, stuff that they can do at home, and then I start progressing them to things that they can't do at home. So I just want to go over that because people think a lot of times when they say, oh, you're a Pilates PT, like what does that mean? What does that look like? Does that mean you can only work in certain places with Pilates equipment? Well, like I prefer to have Pilates equipment, but I can work anywhere and work with any equipment because I use my hands first and foremost. And then Pilates is just the type of exercise that basically keeps people around for a long time. So I love it because it helped change my posture and improve my posture so much. But the reality is that when I move people over to working from PT to working with my Pilates trainers, they stick around for a long time in our world. They stick around seeing us for sometimes years. We've been open for 15 years and I have a 15-year client. She came in within the first few months of us opening, and she still comes in to this day and does 2 Pilates classes a week. And sees me for PT on occasion as needed. So I just want to share that. I am a manual therapist. I'm a Pilates instructor. I combine those two things. If someone wanted to just do Pilates with me, I could do that, certainly. But I can have them work with my trainers and save them some money because of the way our structure is set up. So I'm charging a PT rate for whatever I'm doing, if I'm teaching Pilates or if I'm doing PT or whatever, however you want to discern it. So I just want to share that with you today, guys, because that's a question that I've been getting is what does that look like? What does that even mean? Do I have to be a Pilates equipment person, or can I be a Pilates mat person? You can do any of that stuff, and you can learn mat work and start teaching it to your patients immediately without having expensive fancy equipment. The equipment is more expensive for the training. You have to buy the fancy equipment, but guess what? You can also charge more for that as well. So that's my message today, guys. If you have any questions, put them below in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. And y'all take care. Have a fantastic day. And